Alright Brickers, I'm back off holiday, episode 8. Let's finally get this engine out. As mentioned at the end of the last episode, there's a couple of jobs left to do to get the engine out of the car. Firstly, there is the earth cable for the battery which goes underneath the car. I need to take that off somehow. I'm not exactly sure how that's attached, but we will find out once we get underneath there. The other thing is there's a brace, like a subframe thing at the bottom of the car underneath, which connects the two front lower control arms together. I need to unbolt that. And the other job is the slave cylinder, which I need to remove from the gearbox, and then that should mean that the engine and gearbox is free to come out of the car. So let's get going. Right, so I'm going to undo these two, I think 10mm little P clips that are holding on the earth loom. And we're free. On to the next bit. Now if you can see there's one more P clip just holding this wire on, so I'm going to undo that now. We're off. I'll see if we can get this away. Sorry, away from the car. Where are we? Oh. Terrible film. Okay, so that is going down and here. Where's it gone? I think it's on the floor somewhere. So you can see it's free now from the engine. It's still attached to the chassis via this. I'm not so bothered about that at the moment. If it's in the way, I'll take it off. But let's get this coolant hose out of the way. Just keep it simple. Right, that's job 1 of 3 done. The next one, I'm going to undo the slave cylinder. I'm going to leave the subframe crossmember thing to last, and then once that's undone, I can just unbolt the 2 engine mounts. I've already undone that one. Undo those 2, get the engine out. This is the slave cylinder, and it is just like a red block. Where's my finger? There's just this circlip here, a snap ring. So I just use the snap ring pliers on here to get the snap ring off, and then this whole slave cylinder pushes out towards the front of the car, and then that should be the whole clutch system detached, the hydraulic system detached from the gearbox. These are my snap ring options. I've got these tiny little pair here, if you're gonna focus. This tiny little pair, which, come on. This tiny little blurry pair. And then I've got these high definition, massive ones, which I think are too big. So we'll see if we can make something work. Apologies for the poor filming quality. I'm filming on the selfie camera on my phone. Access is not brilliant in here. Okay, I've got the tiny ones on. Oh, just pulled that snap ring off there, and the slave comes right out. He says, "What's that in the way?" I've got my hand on something, I don't know what it is, but I've got the snap ring. That came off quite easily. Now let's see what's stopping this coming out. It is something, but I've got it out. There we go. I think it's just some sort of cooling pipe. Oh, now we've got a dangly. There we go. That was a nice easy win. So yeah, if you want to bleed your clutch, you go from there. Sometimes these were a bit difficult in red block M90s, and that came off very nice and easily. Happy days. While we're down here, hello. So there's 4 bolts, 2 on each side, and this bolt here, I don't know if you can see as well, it's attached to the lower control arm. So I'm hoping to just leave these in here and just undo these 4 bolts and pull this little cross member strut brace thingy out, because at the moment the gearbox is lying on it. I've got the gearbox mount here, that's already unbolted, so I've just got to take this off. Catastrophic happens here. Ah! Whoa, that's a prop shaft just come off. Happy days. Whoop. Right, get me phone from out of here. Might shufty some things about it. I'll just have this film in here. I can hear things creaking. I think we're alright. Woohoo! Ow. Well, those 3 little jobs went quite smoothly, so let's connect up the engine crane and test the tensile strength of everything that I forgot to undo. Right, time to connect the engine crane. I've got my external mic, so hopefully you can still hear us. I'm just going to steal a couple of inlet manifold bolts to connect the engine crane up. Whoop. Danger. 10mm washers. Okay. Hup, hup, hup. Absolute grace. Slamming. So, plan. Connect the engine crane towards the back of the engine. Do I do that? Or do I do it to the front? If I connect it closer to the front, it'll lean back more once it's lifted. Yeah, I don't know if that's what I want or not. I think it kind of is. I think we're going to have to find a nice middle ground. I think I'm going to go like middle to back, because since the gearbox is attached, it's going to be rear heavy. I think I'll connect the engine crane a bit further back than what I usually would. Sounds like a good plan. I've just hooked my number plate. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but the car is leaning forward quite a lot. Let's switch to the iPhone camera. The car is very much high at the back and low at the front. I feel that'll give us the best chance of getting the engine and the gearbox out in one. Well, it's moving. Oh, I don't like that. It's not leaning back enough. No, I don't like it. Plan B. Going to move the engine mounts. No, going to mount the crane a little bit further forward, so then when I lift it up, it leans back. Boing. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Right, let's try that again. Are you still on, Mr. Microphone? Just doing a sound check. Testing, testing. Yep, sound check good. Right, back to the stick of doom. Doesn't seem to be moving as easy as it was before. Okay. I'm waiting for a twang. What did I forget to undo? I feel like I need the hammer on this one. Engine mount doing? Engine mount's playing silly buggers. Oh. Whatever that was, it's moved. Whoa there. It feels a bit attached. Just a little bit. Oh, the engine, okay. It's still on the engine mount on this side. Where's my hammer? Gently does it. Why are you not coming off? Wow there! All right. That's off the engine mount. I wonder if there is anything still attached. There feels like something very attached. We're on our way to getting the engine out. I've put the gear stick through the floor now. On initially lifting it, it doesn't seem to be anything else attached, but I've got the crank pulley here, which is getting close to this, and the way it's angled at the moment, pretty sure the gearbox is going to be on the floor. I don't know if we'll be able to see. The gearbox is not on the floor, but it's almost on the floor. Well, that's just the cross member. You can see the gear stick is on the floor there. So I think we'll just yank it, give it a bit of persuasion. Might be looking okay. Oh, there is something. I officially forgot to unattach. What is this? A heater hose. Woohoo! We're out! Yes! Lad. There we have 1 3-litre NA attached to an M90. Out of the car. Yeehaw! Sketchy. I want to get this down on a tyre because that is just sketchy as out. Yes! Why not use an NS2R? To set the engine on. It's quite bald on the inside and okay on the outside. Might end up turning these NS2Rs into smoke once I get the car running. Look at this one. What a ridiculous sight that is. Ugh. Old man noises. Boosh. That's the engine out. Yes. Woo. Well, Brickers, that's the engine out, so I think I'm going to call it the end of this episode. We've got the NA6 still attached to the M90 gearbox out of the car. Boom. So the next job is swapping the sumps. I need to swap the sumps and the oil pumps before I even think about putting the T6 inside the car. And obviously put the M90 gearbox on as well, but I'm wanting to upgrade the clutch. I've got a nice flywheel in there in the M90. I've got a TTV lightened racing flywheel, but I've just got a stock 850ER clutch. I'm wanting to upgrade that and the pressure plate, and also it's had a 1.5 years worth of drifting, so it could probably do with a new one anyway. However, next week I've got the car booked in with Stellar Performance to get the exhaust manifold made. So in a few days I'm going to pick up the cold side for the turbo, start and give them that. FedEx is currently holding on to my exhaust manifold flange, which I bought from Speeding Parts in Sweden, but because I was away on holiday, FedEx couldn't deliver it and they won't let us do anything about it online, so I need to get that. But anyway, I'm rambling. Basically, the car's going to Stellar Performance. The whole car is going, they're going to take it away. They're going to make me a log manifold just out of mild steel, keeping it as simple as possible. I'm not chasing every single little horsepower. I'm trying to manage the cost as best I can as well. So they're going to make us a log manifold, and then we'll get the car back. So what I need to do in order for them to build me an exhaust manifold for the turbo, I need to get the engine in there. So for now, what I might do is just maybe swap the sump, just because it's to see if everything fits. Swap the sump, swap the engine mounts over, and just literally chuck the T6 block in there, just so the exhaust manifold can be made, because it's a week tomorrow at this point, until the car needs to go. So I'm quite tight on time, so I'll see how I go, but I'll do as much as I possibly can with the T6 engine. But yeah, I think that's all for this episode, guys, so thanks very much. See you next time.